YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the videos. What's going on? That mother trucker, what's going on? What's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the videos. What's going on? But thought I'd make a live feed real quick, talking to y'all about my load this morning. Talk to y'all about my load, you know. So what's going on with y'all? So you know, this business, you know, sometimes you have to play games with these brokers out here. You really got to play games with these brokers. Big Face say, drug test? What you talking about, Big Face? You talking about drug tests for your authority? But hold on, Big Face. Let me talk about this load I had. So I had a load of cotton. Well, call me. You got my number, man. Call me. So I booked this load yesterday. Picked this load up in Alabama. It's about 400 miles. A load of cotton. You know, it's every blue moon you find a little stray cotton load laying around out there. It's cotton season coming to an end. I didn't really pull that many cotton loads this season, but I was able to pull a couple. So I booked this load. This is a cotton load picking up. Picked it up yesterday. The appointment that they had on the Raycon, they had an appointment for between 12 and 2. They had the appointment for 12 and 2. Now, I picked up cotton loads at this particular place plenty of times before, and I don't recall this place having an appointment structure. Like, long as you get there before they close, they cool. They really don't care. So the load that I delivered before that, I got empty. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I had a 6 o'clock appointment. I got empty. And so I'm looking at the load. I'm like, hold on. 12 to 2. Now, I knew that when I booked the load, but sometimes any of y'all who out here dealing with brokers, any of y'all that deals with brokers out here, and you scheduling your week to pick up and deliver loads, I like to give myself some room. So if I have a 6 o'clock appointment, I don't want to have my next load picking up until 6, 7, 8. I don't want my next load picking up until like 10 o'clock. I give these shippers like 4 hours between loads. That gives them time to deal with some drama. You go to these places, you're going to have attention. So I give myself about 4 hours before the next load, especially when it's a defined appointment. So from 12 to 2 ain't too bad. But I got empty at 7 o'clock. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm looking at the Raycon. It say 12 o'clock. I'm like, man, I can go down there right now. It's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I can go down there right now and get loaded. I called the place up and I asked the guy in the office, I got this load I'm picking up. I gave him the pickup number. He was like, man, you can come on down here right now and get loaded. I was like, hey, I came on down there. I got loaded. Now, the Raycon had an appointment. The guy was like, nah, we don't go by appointment. It's first come, first serve. You know what I mean? They open between 7 and like 4 or something like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But this isn't the about the video. This isn't what the video is about. I'm gonna get to it. So I got down there, you know, gave him a pickup number, pick up a load of cotton. They put the cotton in the trailer, and y'all pick up loads of cotton. It's always in the woods somewhere at this cotton farm somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So it's this shack full of cotton bales. You know, you back up to the dock. It's a little crazy dock situation and all this. They throw the cotton in the trailer. I get loaded. That's when I made that video yesterday. The video that I made yesterday, that's where I was at. I was picking up a cotton load. And got loaded, did that video, trucking down the road, 400 miles. I got down here to Savannah, Georgia. I'm in Savannah, Georgia right now. Savannah, Georgia. Now, I'm in Savannah, Georgia. Now, I got the Raycon. I got a Raycon for an 8 o'clock appointment to deliver this load. It says right there on the Raycon, 8 o'clock, right? Yeah, that's why I make these videos, man, so you can ride. So, let me turn these comments off, because, all right, so, I got a Raycon, 8 o'clock appointment to deliver the load. Okay, I pull up to the place in Savannah. I pull up to it. I'm looking, I'm like, hold on, they open. This is a 24-hour facility. 24-hour facility. Okay, I pull in there, walk up to the guard shack. I was like, yeah, I got cotton load. She's like, yeah, you got cotton load? I was like, okay, let me log you in. Let me check you in. I was like, oh shit, I start getting a fuzzy feeling inside. I'm like, I'm about to get unloaded tonight. Nope, we ain't about to get unloaded tonight. I thought I was gonna get unloaded tonight. The way that she was talking. She got on the walkie-talkie. She was like, yeah, I got a cotton load out here. She on the walkie-talkie. I got a cotton load out here. What door you want to put them in? The guy was on the walkie-talkie. He went back and forth. He was like, you know, back and forth. He was like, yeah, we ain't got no room. Okay. The lady told me to park on the side of the road out there. Okay, I parked. I went down, turned around, parked on the side of the road. I'm thinking, I stayed up all night last night thinking they was going to call me because I gave the lady my phone number. And she says, okay, when we get a door, we're going to call you. Gave the lady my phone number, parked on the side of the road. So I'm waiting. You know, when I'm in the bunk, I got my phone just sitting up there waiting. 11 o'clock come, midnight come, I fall asleep. I fall asleep with my phone in my hand, right? I wake up. I'm thinking I'm going to have a missed call on my phone. Nope. So I woke up this morning. It was like 6 o'clock this morning. This place is a 24-hour facility. So it's trucks going in and out, right? I'm like, they going to call me? They don't have to call me because I'm early. I'm early. So, you know. So here it is. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. They call me. I was like, oh, shoot, they're about to get a door. They called me. They was like, after looking in the computer, your appointment is not until 7 p.m. tonight. I'm like, oh, 7 p.m.? I was like, oh, man, we going to do this business. So we do the rigmarole back and forth. I was like, well, you know, back and forth. I was like, look, if y'all can't take me today, I got a Raycon saying I'm supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. The Raycon say 8 o'clock. Right here. Address. This is y'all load. Be here at 8 o'clock. This is what I'm doing. I'm here. It's 8 o'clock. And I told the lady, I was like, well, if y'all don't want to take the load, I'm gonna have to take the load back to the shipper. And y'all can find another truck for the load. So after doing all that, I called the broker up and I tell them what's going on. I was like, hey, Mr. Broker, I'm here at the customer. I got this 8 o'clock appointment. I'm you know, they telling them they're not gonna take the load until 7 p.m. There's this discrepancy with the appointment, who booked the load and all this. And she was like, well, it's 6 o'clock. We on Central Time. The account manager don't get in until he don't get in until like 8 Central Time. So you're gonna have to wait, you know, until they get in to figure this out. I was like, well, I'm just a FYI. I'm on the highway right now. I'm cranking my truck up right now. I'm headed back to the shipper. I told the lady, I was like, well, the shipper, their hours are 7 to 4. So I told her if I can, I'm 7 hours away. I can get back to the shipper by 2 o'clock so they can get this freight off my truck. If, you know, because the Raycon says 8, they're saying 7. And so this whole load is void. The load is void because y'all not following the shippers, the receiver's not following the terms on this Raycon, and this load is void. So I'm gonna have to get a load back. I'm gonna take y'all load back, and then I can go on about my business. I'm just gonna take this load as an L. She was like, oh, L, okay. I'm putting notes in the system, and as soon as the account manager come in, we gonna figure out what's going on. Okay, cool. I get on the road. I'm riding, right? I'm on the road about 45 minutes into riding down the road. I'm trying to get back. I'm riding down the road. I get a call from the receiver here in Savannah, and they said, yeah, go ahead and pull on up and back into door 30. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, y'all just told me y'all wasn't gonna, because I went back and forth with them about 2, 3, 4 times. Went back and forth with them. They was dead set that they wasn't gonna take the load until 7 p.m. tonight. So I was just like, I was gonna take the load back. So I explained to the lady, I was like, are you sure you got the right truck? Because I'm headed back to the shipper. Y'all just told me y'all wasn't gonna take the load. So they was like, nah, we figured it out. Come on back. We'll put you in door 30. I was like, oh man. Well, I was like, well, I'm 45 minutes out. It's gonna be 45 minutes to get back there. So are y'all still gonna take the load? She's like, yeah, we'll wait on you. Just come on and bring the load back. I was like, okay. And so the thing is, the games you got to play with these brokers, the games you got to play with these customers out here. This is just, it's just crazy. These games you got to play, you know, it's just, because this is the video I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I got in a conversation with all these other guys talking about all that other stuff I was talking about yesterday. But when I tell y'all need to get y'all authority, that's the main reason. Well, it's not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons why I tell y'all need to get your authority. Because if you don't have your authority, a lot of guys won't be able to do what I just did. Sometimes you got to call them a bluff. You got to call them a bluff. You got to bluff them a little bit. Now, if they wouldn't have took the load, I would have been halfway back to Alabama by now. I would have been halfway back to Alabama by now. And so, you know, I mean, I was willing to take this day as an L. Hey, you just take it as a loss. It's business, and that's what it is. I would have wrote yesterday and today off on my taxes as a loss. I would have wrote the fuel off. The lost revenue that I took on the load, you're probably looking at a good, I say a good 15, 1600 in loss, because fuel going to both way, the payment on the load, 2 days loss of revenue, probably looking at a good $1,700. So I would have wrote all that off on my taxes. Okay. Now when we talk about getting on authority, there's a lot of reasons why I tell y'all to get your own authority, just because you don't have control. When you leased on to somebody and you pulling somebody else's trailer, you can't do that. When you get your own trailer, you get your own authority. When you got your own trailer, that freight is in your care. Okay? It's your insurance. The freight is yours. You can do whatever you want with that freight. And so you can take that freight. Basically, you have two options. You can sit there and get that BS layover, $200 layover, whatever they, or take the freight back and demonstrate to these companies that you are a business. And like, we got to stop letting these companies walk over us. We got to stop this. And that's why I tell y'all to get your own authority. If I was at Snyder, you definitely couldn't do it. You couldn't do it, because Snyder holds all the cards. Okay, when you got your own authority, you got your own trailer, your own insurance, you holding the cards at that point. You tell that broker or that receiver and say, hey, either y'all gonna take this freight off my truck, or I'm gonna take it back to the shipper. And so y'all decide how bad y'all want this freight. If y'all don't want it that bad, you shouldn't have ordered the damn truck to come pick the load up. Okay, so, because they was telling me, I was like, they talking about it's a 7 p.m. appointment. And it's like, well, we don't know when we'll be able to get to you. We got like 16 trucks ahead of you and all this BS. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this load back where it came from, and y'all can figure that out. Get this freight off my truck, and then y'all can figure all that out. And so that's how you demonstrate to these people that you're not playing. You are in business, and so that's what we're doing. And so it's just a game of poker, Texas Hold'em, Texas Hold'em. Just trucking. Where you at? I'm in Savannah with a cotton load. Oh yeah, I'm at that Walmart. I'm at that Walmart. I'm at that Walmart. That Walmart off of 95. It's an exit down from the Pilot. I think it's exit like 103 or something like that. That's where I'm at. Mario Cardwell said another one. Yeah, man. That's how they be doing out here. Trucker 202 said that's trucking. I know that. And see, the thing is, the simple fact that you saying that's trucking, that shouldn't be trucking. These people that work in these offices, they don't care, man. They need to start caring. Why you ordering a truck and then switching the appointment time? I got a rate card on black and white paper that says appointment this time, the address, all this, everything. And so I bring y'all freight and y'all don't want to take it because y'all computers say otherwise. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm taking the freight back where it was, and y'all can figure something out later. Will you have got that back in taxes? No, you wouldn't get it back in taxes. When you write stuff off on taxes, what you're doing is you just adjusting your tax liability. So if you don't get the cash back in taxes, you just taking the deduction. So the cash that you actually get back in taxes, let's see. Say you write off $2,000 times 15%, you basically get back $300 on your taxes. But not even the $300 that you actually get back, you're taking the deduction. You're lowering your tax liability, so that way you don't have to pay that cash out in taxes. So say you owe the IRS $15,000 in taxes. Well, if you take a $2,000 deduction, now you only owe 13. You get what I'm saying? You only owe 13,000 in taxes. And I don't know about you and me, the difference between 15 and 13, I would take that. I would take that. That mother trucker say, gotta play chess with them. I know. You gotta play these games with these brokers. You gotta play games with them. Like, all these brokers out here play games. Like, it just don't make no sense. And that goes to show how much these people out here respect us. These people have no respect for a damn truck going down the road. And that's just the bottom line. They have no respect for, because the thing is, they expect us to respect them, but they don't respect us. They want us to show up on time to pick up their freight, but then they don't want to take us on time to pick up their freight. So if we show up at 2 o'clock, I want to be loaded at 2 o'clock. I don't want to show up at 2 and then y'all don't put me to a door until 4. That don't make sense. You know what I mean? And so that's it's just a total disrespect, man. And like, a lot of guys just accept that. And like, a lot of guys just bend over backwards and take it. You know what I mean? We got to stop doing this. And so that's why I tell y'all to get your own authority. And so you being leased on, you can't do that, being leased on. You pulling somebody else's trailer, you can't do that. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. You was in Hillsboro, Alabama. I was in shoot. I was in trying to see where I was. But yeah, so I was, so that's why I tell y'all to get y'all. Jeff say, what are you complaining about? Jeff, I'm not complaining about nothing, man. I'm just sharing my story about my load this morning. I wouldn't have taken it back to Alabama. I would have cross-docked it. Yeah, that's what they said. That's the broker finally called me back. They was like, well, they would have sent me to another warehouse, and they would have sent me to another warehouse, and they would have paid me them extra miles, and they would have paid me them extra miles at $2.50 a mile plus additional 200 or something like that. But I already told her, they already unload me by the time they called me back with a resolution. When they called me back, they took me. And so Yeah, Damco. Yeah, that's it. Damco. Just trucking. Well, the thing is, just trucking. Even if you're not gonna take it back, you got to play poker with them. That's all. Even if you're not gonna take it back, and you just gotta, because sometimes, because the thing is, you gotta know trucking. You gotta know this business. It's not necessarily taking the freight back. It's about knowing this business. It's knowing what's reasonable to tell somebody. You're not gonna you can't sit up here and tell me that you're not gonna take this freight off my truck and tell me you gonna let me sit out here 12, 13, 14 hours because there's a discrepancy in the computer when I got it right here in black and white. And so you got to dumb this down with some common sense. And like a lot of times people forget the common sense. It's just like, I got a load of cotton. I'm delivering a load of cotton. There's no reason for you to not take the load. Why wouldn't you take it? The only reason they wouldn't take it is just because they don't feel like taking it. They're going to come in with all these other excuses. They not busy. Because I went in there, it was me and another truck in there. It wasn't busy at all. It was me, another truck, and the yard guy running around the yard. That's it. Now, they very well would have been busy. But how hard is y'all? It's going to take 10 minutes out of y'all's schedule to unload my truck. Because it don't take that long to load of cotton on the truck. Like 10 minutes. And so it all boils down what these people want to do. Okay? And so if they look in the computer and if their computer don't match up what you got, then they rather give you a hard time rather than doing what's right and what's makes sense. So the thing is, you got to force them to think about what they're doing. So you're going to let me drive this whole truck load of cotton back to the shipper because y'all don't want to give up 10 minutes to unload a truck? You got to be reasonable. Like, put a manager on the phone. Let me talk to a manager. I've done that plenty of times. Plenty of times. You got to dumb this down to some plain common sense. Where's the common sense? Damn the rules. Put the rules to the side. That's where you talk to a manager, because a person of management can discern and look past these policies and look at the situation. You like, you know what, man, you here. Why? Go ahead and back in the door 30, man. That makes sense. I've done that plenty of times. I've done that at Walmart warehouses. I've done that at Big Lots warehouses. I done that plenty of times. I booked plenty of loads where I pick the load up, deliver it, and like they got a different time in the system. I go in there and tell them, I was like, look, can I speak to a manager? I pull up my Raycon. I was like, look, sir, I have my Raycon here. See here? So all the details. Here's the load. I got the load. I'm here on your property. I mean, I would really appreciate it if you would unload me. I would hate to have to take this load back to the shipper, and then you guys would have to reorder this freight. Then y'all have to put it on another truck all over again. I'm here. On my Raycon, it's got this. There's the time and all this. Why let me sit 10, 12, 13 hours out here on your property when I'm here now? And I got a Raycon showing that there's obviously a miscommunication. And after talking to somebody in management, you go back and forth a little bit. I've had plenty of success with that. Sometimes you might have to play poker and force their hand and be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take it back to the ship and y'all figure this out. Y'all going to have to order another truck to come get this load. And it's not that you really going to do it, but the fact is you need to show these people that what makes sense. That don't make sense. It makes no sense. it's freight. It's just freight, man. And it's just like, you ordered the freight. Y'all ordered it. I mean, I'm not here on my own will. It's like you book a load of pallets. It's pallets. Like, what reason does it have for them to not take them pallets off your truck? Because they really don't want to. They don't have to. And so you speak to a manager and it's like, look, I get that, the appointment time in the computer. Yeah, I get that. But I'm here. I'm here. I was doing what I'm supposed to do. I would really appreciate it. Maybe sliding the person, the forklift guy or the lady in the office of $20. And see, when you do stuff like that, that goes to show how important these appointments are. The only reason that they have appointments on Lowe's is that they can keep track of inbound, outbound product in and out of a facility. That's the only reason. And workflow, staffing, you know what I mean? That's the only reason. Other than that, if you got a guy on the dock that's in a forklift, it ain't gonna take you but 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not gonna disrupt your whole workflow of work that's going in and out of a facility. You know what I mean? Common sense is all it takes, is just a little bit of common sense. And so you go to these places, it's just like when you get an appointment, book an appointment at a doctor's office. You call up the doctor, you get an appointment, you show up to the doctor, right? And say you 10 minutes late. I've been 10 minutes late at a doctor plenty of times, but sometimes they'll work you in, or they'll, y'all get what I'm saying. And it's just like, sometimes these people, they like to act stupid and act like these appointments are so that damn important. These appointments ain't that damn important. I got the freight, I'm here. Take the freight off my truck. And like some of these places, they just want to be a jerk. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Big Rig Radio say, I spent 5 minutes doing quarter IFTA, New Mexico, New York, Kentucky, all done until next quarter. Yeah, I got to do my IFTA. That's what I tell guys. Like, guys like to make a big deal about doing IFTA and all that. It's easy, man. I just pull up my IFTA report off my ELD, download the IFTA report. I go on the state of Georgia website, do my IFTA. I got a couple videos showing guys how to do IFTA. So I know, Jeff. I mean, I be trying to tell them how easy it is to do IFTA. It take 5-10 minutes, man. Take 5-10 minutes. And the only thing between Jeff and me is that he's got a fleet. And so his numbers are just going to be bigger. The gallons is going to be bigger. When you got 10 trucks, the gallons is just going to be bigger. The miles is going to be bigger. And if this done, and so Big Dre said, I just left there yesterday. I hope you got I hope they had your appointment in the system good, because mine wasn't that good. That mother trucker said, the moral of the story is value your greatest asset, time. Can't ever get it back. Yeah, man. I mean, tell you the truth, it would have messed me up. It would have messed me up revenue-wise, because I would have to spend money on fuel to take the truck back. But I'm in a capacity to where I'm not pressed for money like that. I got cash in the bank. I can take a loss, And so the thing is, I love my industry. And the thing is, we got to do what we got to do for our industry to let these shippers know that we're not playing. We are in business. We are business owners. And we have to get that respect of being a business owner. These companies don't respect us. That's why they treat us this way. You know, because a lot of places I showed up late on loads. I picked up early on loads. A lot of these places, they just want to move their freight. I want to move your freight. Don't worry about all that. And it's just like, you know, and like these companies, they want to penalize guys for some of the stupidest stuff. Like, you got a Raycon showing a time on a load, but their system saying a different time, so they don't want to take you. But they can't get mad if I be like, well, I'm taking the freight back to the shipper. They can't get mad because just like they're honoring their contract, saying that their appointment time is different, I'm honoring mine. And nowhere on my contract it says 7 o'clock and I'm supposed to sit here. So this contract is void. I'm taking the load back. That's what we're doing. I'm taking the load back because you're not honoring this contract. And so just the same way when you go to a place, they got power and procedures that they do. Well, I got power and procedures that I do. But see, if you leased on, you can't do none of that because the carrier that you're pulling for, and if you're a company driver, you definitely can't do it. You just gonna have to take that, you know. L. Harris says, common sense not coming. Trucker 202 says, because the employees don't want to work. It ain't the employees, it's management. Employees do what they supposed to do. Employees just come to work, punch in, do their job. But if management says otherwise, or you got a team leader, it's either, a lot of that stuff either comes from a team leader or somebody in management. Either one of those two. Because you got a shift manager. They in charge of what's going on for this shift. And if they're looking at the workflow for the day, and they're looking at, okay, this is what we got going on for the day, I can't take that truck, then they really don't have to take it because in their computer it says, well, we're not supposed to take the truck. But that's where a manager comes in and say, with some common sense, and say, man, don't let that truck go back, man. Go ahead and put them to the door. That ain't gonna mess up our workflow that bad. Okay, just 10 minutes, you know? And so just common sense. Some it's just a little bit of common sense, you know? It's just like, but a lot of places don't want to do that. Some of these places, they so extra strict. They're so extra difficult. Some of these places like extra hard to do business with. Like if you 1 minute after appointment time, they're not gonna load you. If you show up to the guard shack at 12:55 and a truck ahead of you, they take 5 minutes. Then you walk in the door at 1:01 and you got an appointment at 1 and you walk in the door at 1:01, you're late. We're not gonna load you. See, that's bullshit, man. You and I both know that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know, that's just straight up BS, man. That is BS. I've done that plenty of time. Any of you guys that's been in trucking have been through that. You arrive to a place 30 minutes early. There's a line down the road. It will behoove you to park your truck, walk in there, check in. Sometimes they don't even let you do that. You walk up to check in to make sure you get checked in so you don't be late. But they don't even let you do that. No, you got to go get back in your truck. And so you go get back in your truck. It takes an hour for you to get to the guard shack to check in. And finally when you check in, they're like, oh yeah, you late. I was in the damn line for an hour. And that stuff don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. We need to stop doing business with those places. When places start pulling that kind of BS, stop doing business with them. When they freight stay at the dock and nobody want to pull their freight, then they start figuring out like, yeah, because this, that, and the third. And when we start taking the freight back to the shipper, start actually putting our foot down and start settling for this BS, and then we'll get some stuff done. But I know a lot of that stuff ain't gonna get done, but that's what I'm saying. And that's how you make changes. How do you think UPS has their own dock? UPS, FedEx, you go to some of these places, UPS got their own dock. It say UPS on top of the dock, FedEx on top of the dock. Because UPS and FedEx has an agreement with some of these places. If a UPS driver or FedEx driver is at this place for more than a few minutes, they are charged a fee. They're charged a fee. And so if you pay attention, if you go to a place to pick up a load, you'll notice like the FedEx, the UPS guys, the LTL guys, they bump them docks, they in and out. They in and out. They'll come in the office. If they sitting up there like more than like 2 or 3 minutes, they like, man, I got to get out of here. They gone. They gone. They gone. And so when they start, when they start getting hit in the pocket, when they start getting hit in the pocket, they'll stop all this foolishness. They will stop it. Just Trucker said, that's why I crossed dock. I met my obligations as the carrier. Confused between broken customer has nothing to do with me. T. Holland says, yes, sir. I've been saying that. Common law lien. I know, and like these places like to be extra strict. Walmart strict like that. Yeah, Walmart is extra like that. Like you gotta, with Walmart, this is the thing with Walmart, what they like to do. This is the thing. Let me tell you what Walmart like to do. They will schedule all their inbound freight, all their received freight at one damn time. So you're going to have at least 25, 50 trucks trying to come in for a 10 o'clock appointment all at one time. So you're going to have 50 trucks lined up down the road. So what you as a driver got to know, okay, Walmart, I got to arrive an hour early. Sometimes an hour. I've been to Walmarts where you have to arrive almost 2 hours early to check in on time. Because what Walmart like to do when they book their inbound freight, they like to book it. They like to give everybody a 10 o'clock appointment. So everybody get a 10 o'clock appointment. You got 20 drivers in the damn in the receiving office trying to check in. It just don't make no sense. Why don't y'all give one guy 10, a next guy 11, 12, so you don't have all these trucks coming all in at one time? It don't make no sense. Walmart famous for that junk. Trucker 202 said, Walmart fined my company for being early, hour and 10 minutes out of their window. And see, that's why I say we need to stop pulling their freight. Stop pulling the freight. But see, the thing is, Walmart is so damn big, they wanna strut their stuff. Because when they're in the wrong, when Walmart is in the wrong, you can't call Walmart on they BS, but they want to call the trucking company on they BS. So if we arrive too early or if we arrive late, Walmart want to find you. Walmart want to fine you when you arrive too early, but how the hell you gonna check in then? You can't check in. You have to get to Walmart early because the line is backed up down the road. In order to check in on time, you got to be an hour early. It take you 30 minutes to check in. Any of you guys went to a Walmart, you know what I'm talking about. You got to wait in the line. It's about 10 trucks ahead of you. You got to wait in the line. Then you got to check in at the security office. And then you got to park over here, back in this special spot. Then walk over here and check in at another office. And then you got to drop your trailer, bobtail over here. That whole ordeal, that whole rigmarole, that takes an hour to do all that. And so by the time you get to the office, it's 50 minutes. And then it's 3-4 drivers in that office. They need to check in. But they find you for stop pulling their freight. But the thing is, they got so many drivers pulling their freight. They don't have to worry about guys pulling their freight. And see that's what happens when you pull these big companies' freight. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. The mother trucker said, I refuse. If it's not dropping hook for Walmart, yeah, but when you got your own authority, you can't do dropping hook. The thing is, you know, it's a lot of freight out here. I mean, you don't have to pull Walmart freight. It's a lot of freight out here. To tell you the truth, I haven't pulled a Walmart load in a long time. I try to stay away from Walmart loads. That retail type freight, I'm trying to stay away from it. Because more than likely, if you pulling that retail freight, you dealing with a big box shipper, big box receiver. And like it's always like a long line to get loaded. It's always a long line, a whole rigmarole, a whole process to get empty because you're dealing with a big box shipper receiver. You know, they're moving a lot of freight. They move a lot of freight they move a lot of freight, high volume. And so Procter & Gamble type places, they move a lot of freight. And so that's just what you got to deal with when you're dealing with a big box shipper receiver. A Walmart distribution centers are huge. You know, they got 1,000 docks. They bring in 1,000 trucks an hour. You know what I mean? And so that's just what you got to deal with. I'm trying to get away from all that. You know, I'm trying to deal with like small shipper receivers, you know, where I can get in, you know, it's a small operation, you know, I'm not dealing with so much rigmarole, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of freight out here. So you have choice to decide what type of freight you want to pull. Oh yeah, the hours of service. But see, the thing is, that's why I say you have your own authority. You do what you want to do. When I was on my way to take back these people their freight, I was on personal conveyance. So I wasn't going to use my hours to do that. To tell you the truth, I was going to go back in my logbook and put everything off duty for yesterday because that load didn't count. You know what I mean? And see, when you got your own authority, you just do stuff like that. Just because, you know, sometimes when BS is BS is BS. That's what it is. It's just bull. It don't make no sense to be dealing with all that. Oh, the thumbnail. Yeah, that's why I chose the thumbnail for this video. The topic of this video kind of represents the thumbnail. But let me go back up here and talk about Big Face. He was talking about drug tests. I don't know what Big Face was talking about or what he want to know about a drug test, but you know, a drug consortium is pretty simple process. I use Express Labs. It's pretty simple process. Express Labs, it's a good program. Let me see. Express Express Labs. Is it Express Labs? I forgot the name of my drug consortium. Yes, yeah. So here's the company of my drug consortium. I got the 3-year program. 3 years for $200. That's a good deal. So and they put you in a pool full of drivers. Whenever you got to do a PP test, they send you an email and you go do the PP test. And so, like, what I noticed about when you have your own authority and you got to go do your PP test, they give you like a week or two to go do it. You know what I mean? When you leased onto a carrier or you're a company driver, these companies act like you got to go do it right now, you know, like you got some kind of expiration date or something. In the real world with your own authority, they give you like a week or two to go do that jump. Cause that's reasonable. If you driving down the road and you under a load and you get that email saying, hey, you got to go do a random, you can't just stop right in the middle of the road and go do a random. I mean, that just makes sense. And like a lot of these companies, like Snyder, they was famous for that. Like Snyder would call me. I'm in the middle of a load. They trying to be extra secretive. I'm like, man, tell me what's going on. Oh no, I can't tell you. I was like, oh, y'all calling me for a random, right? Oh no, I can't tell you. Well, just tell me. I know why you're calling. I ain't stupid. I'm a grown man. You can't play these childish little games with me. I'm a grown man. Oh well, we're not supposed to. I'll call you back later. Like these games. It's just games. It's the games we got to deal with out here. These elementary school, high school games you got to play. Like, these people don't really take us as professionals. They really don't take us serious. They really don't. They think they can just play these little games. You're going to trick me. Oh, you going to trick me? Come on, man. I'm not in the business of messing up my license. You won't ever catch me drinking in no truck. You won't ever catch me doing drugs. You don't have to worry about that. That's just something I don't have to think about. You won't ever catch me drinking liquor or doing drugs around my truck. I'm not gonna mess up my trucking career over that's just stupid, you know. So that's how I see it. I just like, man, you need me to go take a PP test? I'll take it. I take one right here if you want me to. I mean, I take it without even a sweat, and I won't even bat an eye and just keep on moving. T. Hollins said, did you end up taking the freight back? Did they pay you for the return ship? I really don't care if they return me. I'm going to make my point. I was more focused on make my point and put my foot down. I ain't playing with these people. You get tired of playing these games. You just get tired. You just get tired of playing these games. But no, they ended up calling me. Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I was about 35, 40 minutes out. I'm headed back. I'm on I-16. I'm headed back. Here come the receiver calling me saying, oh, okay, yeah, we got your door. Come on back. I was like, what? I'm 40. I'm way down here in the Macon. I'm almost back to Macon. You know? So, but I ended up turning around. I came back and they unloaded me. So, because I wasn't going to sit up there and talk. I wasn't going to sit up there no all day long for no 7 p.m. appointment. That's stupid. That's stupid. I would push they freight on I would push these bales of cotton on the side of the doggone road and y'all can come get them. I don't got time to play in these games with y'all. You got to play these stupid games with people. I tried that one time at a Sam's Club. I had a Sam's load. Delivering some I think it was a load of toilet paper. I had a load of toilet paper. I came to the Sam's Club. I don't know if it's a Sam's Club or Costco. I don't know if it's a Costco or Sam's Club. I was in Wilmington, North Carolina. I can't believe I remember this. I was in Wilmington, North Carolina. I get to the Costco or Sam's Club. I forgot what it was, but it was one of them wholesale membership retailers, BJ's or something like that. I arrived there, got the paperwork, going into the office. They gotta buzz you in. You hit the button on the door, they gotta buzz you in. Y'all been to Sam's Clubs. I go in there, I tell him, I say, hey, I got a load. And so he started to look through his schedule. He was like, man, your appointment ain't till tomorrow, man. And I got you down here for tomorrow, man. You too early. I was like, no, I'm not. I pulled up my phone. I showed him the rate card. I was like, I'm supposed to be here right now. This load has got 2 stops on it. And like that load was in the middle of the stops. So I had 3 stops on that load. So that store had a middle stop. And I was like, well, I got 3 stops on this load. You're like the middle stop. That don't even make sense. I had this stop, and this stop. And I was like, well, we went back and forth, and I basically told the guy, I was like, well, I told him, I was like, well, I'm an independent carrier. So I'm not no leased on guy. I was like, well, I just push your stuff on the side of the road and you can get it off the side of the road. I got a business to run. I'm running a business here. I can't have you holding up my truck when you got a warehouse, you got a forklift. I told her, I was like, look, I'll get on the forklift and unload the truck myself, or I'll push the freight on the side of the road. The guy was like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. Man, just give me a minute and I'll see what I can do. So he walked off somewhere. I guess he talked to somebody. He came back. He was like, okay. Go ahead and back in the door. And so my point is, man, sometimes, just like I was saying before, out here, these people, they don't like to have common sense. It just don't make no sense. I'm bringing you freight. This is a warehouse. You got a forklift sitting right there. Why wouldn't you want to unload the truck? Why? And at the end of the day, a lot of these people, they just don't. Like one guy was saying in the comments, some people don't want to work. Some people, they just want to be ridiculous. It's like, if it was me, a truck show up and I look at the address and he got a rate card, he got paperwork with appointment time saying he's supposed to be here. The address is right. I'm like, okay, back in the door, and let's go. And it's why be difficult like that? Why do all that? It don't make sense. It just don't make no sense sometimes dealing with these companies like that. The mother trucker say, game changer. You hold the master delete button, having your own numbers. Martyr Train say definitely Costco. Yeah, I don't remember what it is. I don't know if it's Costco or BJ's or it's in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I remember that load had 3 stops. The load paid very well. The load paid real good. I think that load paid, I don't remember what that load paid. I know it paid very well. That's why I took it. And the stores were right next to each other. So the stores were like within 10-15 minutes of each other, and I got unloaded pretty quick. As soon as I bumped the dock, they took their load off. I went to the next store, they took their load off, and I had that load done. I remember I had that load done. It was before, I think I had that all 3 stops done before noon. Maybe like 11 o'clock or something like that. And I still had plenty of hours to go and pick up and run another load. So, power trip, yeah, man, I don't know what it is. And like sometimes, you know, a lot of these places, they're not expecting an independent carrier. And so when you come in the door and you let them know you're an independent carrier, they don't have no control over you. They know that you can pretty much do whatever you want. When you a Swift driver, or when you leased on to somebody, and now I'm not saying leased on to a small carrier, but I mean like when you leased on to a big mega carrier like a Swift or a Snyder, Snyder ain't gonna help you. If you come into a place and if you got a rate card, if you got a dispatch saying that you got an 8 o'clock appointment, and then you get there and the customer says you got a 10 p.m. appointment, you just gonna have to wait for that 10 p.m. appointment. But like with Snyder, they probably gonna tell you to drop the trailer somewhere. And see, when you independent, you only got one trailer. You don't have no drop and hook situation. But that's the stuff we got to deal with here in trucking. Robert B said he would have got the broker involved. That wouldn't have helped. That wouldn't have helped. Sometimes getting the broker involved helps, sometimes it don't. There have been times where I called up the broker, explained the situation. They're like, the broker, what they end up doing what Trucker 202 say. Is it Trucker 202? Not Trucker 202, it's another guy in here. He said that he would do a cross dock. Now, I've had brokers try to do a cross dock, and usually what a cross dock is where you take it to a freight forwarder and they hold the freight for a certain period of time, or they sell the freight to somebody else or something of the nature. They do like a cross dock. So, but in that situation, when we just talking about 12 hours, it don't make sense to do a cross dock. However, they could unload that freight off my truck and put it on another truck. So then they would have to pay me and the other truck. And see, usually what the broker does, they end up honoring that appointment time, and they'll just end up paying you layover. And they'll pay you layover for sitting there waiting for all that time. Or what they'll end up doing is they'll end up it's a lot of things what a broker would do. They would call the receiver and negotiate some kind of situation to get you in early. So sometimes calling the broker don't always help, because I called the broker and they really couldn't help me at that period in time. And so about time the account manager actually called me with a resolution, because a lot of times what happens is you call the broker. You call the broker and tell them, hey, man, hey, Mr. Broker, I got an issue here. My appointment's time is this, but they saying they won't take the truck until this, that, and the third. It's a later appointment time. Well, usually what will happen is they'll be like, okay, sit tight. Let me get on the phone and make some phone calls and see if I can figure something out. That whole situation, that could take 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. That could take 2 days to get a resolution. You know what I mean? If y'all been watching my channel long enough, go back and watch that video, my first Uber freight load when I got my authority. where I was laid over for, I think it was like 3-4 days or something like that with this Uber Freight load. I booked, y'all know about that Uber Freight load I booked way back last year in, what was it, like February last year? Something like that. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that load? I got to the place. They said, when I got to the place, I had an appointment, I think it was for like 10 p.m. at night. I got there. They said the load wasn't supposed to be delivered for like a whole nother day or something like that. 2 days out. So I basically did the same thing then. I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and take the freight back. On the phone with the broker was like, no, I can't have you taking the freight back. Let me pay you the detention. They was gonna pay me $300 or something for the detention. I was like, no, that ain't gonna work. So essentially, for that load that went 200 miles, y'all know I did a video about it. Y'all can go back in my videos all the way back to like last year when I first got my authority. It wasn't my first Uber Freight load under my authority. It was one of my first 2 or 3 loads under my authority. I think I got like $2,200 for 200 miles. That load held my truck up for 3-4 days or so. And so that's essentially what we're talking about. And that situation kind of reminded me of that situation. And so I didn't even give him a chance because I didn't want to deal with it. You know, I didn't want to deal with it. Reeking truckers say, I've taken loads back myself. That's right, man. That's right. Only a guy with their own authority will understand that idea. If you're a company driver, you leased on, a lot of you guys probably won't even understand that concept. You gotta understand that rate con is a contract. It's a contract to move the freight. They have to satisfy the terms and conditions of that contract, just like a lease agreement or anything else. If they don't abide by that doggone contract, you can sue them. And that's just business. It's just business. So you got to know how to enforce the rules of the contract. If they don't follow it, you just tell them, well, you guys are not following the rules of this contract. I'm taking the freight back to the ship and y'all can find another truck. In this contract, it says, the rate con says, delivery at this time, this address, I did that. Simple as that. And a lot of times these brokers, they don't want to compensate you a reasonable compensation for the situation. They want to give you $100, $200 so you can sit around with their freight, waste a whole day of revenue. With LLCs, oh, here go with LLC. What's going on with? What you got to say today? Truck drivers always in last place. Don't matter whether you carry or not. Well, I won today. We played Texas Hold'em, and I won, and they fold. So I won today. But hey, I just wanted to share my experience with y'all about my load today. I didn't want to bore y'all too much. I think an hour is long enough just to give y'all something to listen to while driving down the road. And